A bunch of looters visit a restricted location in Romania during the Cold War, where a guide tells them they must climb the Carpathian Mountains to get there. After much searching, they come across a deserted church with a secret entrance leading to the crypts. The men discover exquisite engravings depicting strange winged demons in this location. They can't discover the entrance to a gold-filled subterranean cave, so they use explosives to blow a hole in the ground, destroying yet another exquisite yet unsettling work of art. Sadly, soon the entire church starts trembling and the floor falls, leading the men to plunge underground in a landslip to destroy the structure while keeping the gang buried beneath it. Because they have all survived, they decide to investigate the strange bat-like sound they have been hearing. A group of scientists start an excavation on the former site of the church 30 years later. As they locate the cave and realize it contains a river that continues far below, they make the decision to engage a team of experienced explorers to conduct an investigation. In the meantime, Tyler and his crew of divers are searching Yucatan, Mexico, for an underwater cave. The crew struggles and eventually gives up, but Tyler perseveres until he locates it. When he gets back to the boat, he appears pretty smug. He is reprimanded by his brother Jack since it is crucial for his safety to stop when the group calls time. Later that night, they receive a call from Dr. Nikolai, who wants to employ them to investigate the cave beneath the abandoned church. He claims that it is deeper than 19 miles, and he wants to film everything. The group accepts the assignment since they think the idea intriguing. The team arrives at the exploration site the following day, and as they prepare their equipment, Tyler observes Catherine, one of the scientists. He goes to introduce himself right away with the purpose of flirting, but he loses the opportunity because cameraman Alex is also present. Tyler at least gets to display his diving gear, but the two of them immediately click because of their similar interest in cave ecosystems when Nikolai interrupts their conversation to introduce Jack to Catherine. A resentful Tyler is left behind and sees Alex taking pictures of what appears to be strange human bones that they discovered in the cave. The teams of scientists and explorers get together in the evening to discuss the data they have thus far. The Titan Hall is a massive cavern that is about 300 feet below ground level and has a sump that connects to an underwater corridor. Somehow, they need to locate a dry cavern, where they can pitch a tent and the scientists can collect samples. They'll spend 12 days there because it's so big. Top, a survival expert, warns everyone that they have previously discovered a body and that they should treat the cave with respect and exercise caution. Nikolai explains the significance of the cave to Tyler and Catherine. After the meeting, according to legend, the church was constructed to seal the cave as a symbol of God's benevolent protection. He can infer from the damaged artwork that the knights entered this cave to fight demons. The squad starts down the hole the following morning. The gang starts getting ready for the exploration right away because the Titan Hall is so stunning. They decide Briggs will be the first scout, and he eagerly leaps into the water. After a few minutes of swimming, he discovers a curve up ahead. He informs the others via his communicator that he might soon lose his connection and that he'll call them once he can set up the fiber optics on the other side. Tyler complains that he should have been chosen since he believes he is the finest scout on the squad while the group waits, but Jack stands by his choice as a means of retaliation against Tyler for what he did in Mexico. Tyler is approached by Catherine while Briggs is still exploring, and she offers him a spider in a tube as a consolation award, and they become friends because they both want to be scientists, to make the initial discovery of something that has never been seen before. While the rest of the team begins to consider sending someone after Briggs because he is taking so long, Briggs calls and tells them he has discovered the ideal location to set up camp at 4 miles from the main cave. He also sends them the sonar scan he did of the path. In an instant, Briggs is startled by something that runs past him. He picks it up to show the crew a strange-looking mole. The animal scoffs at the hold and bolts, but Briggs suddenly turns pale and declares that there is something else there. The link establishes. Faltering and eventually losing contact with Briggs after a brief while, the team decides to send Tyler and sonar expert Strode to fix the cables while the others continue to investigate the tunnel after blaming signal problems. As they swim, they are astounded by all they encounter, including a massive animal skeleton. When Jack and Top arrive at the base and discover Briggs' equipment but not the guy himself, the majority of the team is still there studying it. From a small opening in the cavern wall, where he has discovered old equipment that shows they aren't the first humans to visit this location, Briggs responds to their cries for help. Strode and Tyler are underwater working on the lines when they hear an odd noise. When Strode goes to check after believing he saw one of the moles, he discovers a brand new cavern and the dead mole on the ground. Tyler notices the cables appear chewed at the same moment that Strode is abruptly attacked by a creature with a demon-like appearance. As the rest of the squads join Jack and Top, Tyler hears him screaming via the radio and tries to find him. Strode fights against the creature's grip, and as he does so, his rebreather escapes until it collides with the cave's walls and explodes quickly, blocking the entrance. The ripple effect. Tyler is forced to the surface by the explosion, and he immediately informs the others of what transpired. When Jack and Top go to look, they discover pebbles blocking the entrance. They have to swim back swiftly since the water is still rushing down. Jack explains to the team at the base that they are confined and that until the predetermined 12 days have passed, no one will consider them missing. Finding a way out is necessary, but Briggs is reluctant because something certainly assaulted Strode, although Tyler informs him Top is in agreement that Strode most likely had a hallucination and that their first concern must be survival. While Jack believes that no rescuer in the world would find them because the greatest ones are down here, Nikolai believes that the cave is too large for them to explore and that they would become lost. Thus the wisest course of action would be to wait out those 12 days. After that, while the others are taking a nap, Jack and Top go in search of a way out. Tyler attacks Briggs because Briggs is upset with him for how he minimized Strode's passing and implied negatively about their breakup. A physical altercation between Charlie and she tells them to stop and to be kind. When Nikolai sees the samples Catherine has collected from the dead mole and a salamander, he confirms Catherine's suspicions. In the cave, there is a peculiar parasite. A short while later, Jack and Top discover a location with bubbling water and indications that more people formerly there. Suddenly, after squeezing through a tiny tunnel, they discover a swarm of white scorpions blocking their path. When Jack flicks on a flare to get a closer look, a bizarre beast attacks and tries to drag him away, but Jack manages to cut off the beast's head. The claw of a beast to free himself. Top sends Jack back to the base right away to deal with his injuries after noticing that his back has been seriously wounded. Catherine examines the claw and makes the hypothesis that although all the animals in the cave once belonged to the same species as those on the surface, after spending a considerable amount of time underground, they developed and lost their vision in favor of an improved sense of smell and hearing. Alex notes that the claw resembles the demons shown in the church's artwork, and Nikolai remarks that they've discovered an entirely new environment. The same parasite is also present inside the claw. The scientists say, Nikolai believes they should wait even if there is a hazardous beast nearby, but before they are consumed, the squad decides they should move on and discover a way out. They discover a number of human bones with teeth marks on them as they investigate the cave, providing further evidence that the creature is a predator. When they get to a fork in the road after crossing the narrow tunnel, Jack goes to scout the other direction. When Briggs investigates the route Jack didn't take, the sonar shows that something moved, which irritates him because they could just use a sonar. Briggs swallows his pride and agrees to follow Jack with the others out of fear for what may lie within. Jack surprises Top by claiming he can smell water as the party starts to go uphill by scaling a few walls. Jack is later shown to be correct when a river is discovered. Alex photographs the entire process as Jack lights a flare in it to see if there are any animals, which makes Jack act differently than usual. Before Alex can call him out on it and Jack snaps out of his rage, he pushes Alex away and drops the camera in the sea. Jack then apologizes to Alex. Following that, Jack says they will rest for 20 minutes and then sits down by himself on a rock while his body trembles in agony. Top observes this distantly and informs Tyler that the medication is ineffective. He suddenly realizes that even though no one is close to him, he can hear all they are saying. Tyler arrives to check on his brother at that very time, but Jack insists he's okay and begs Tyler to believe him. When everyone has had a chance to recuperate, the group heads back to the lake while Jack struggles to conceal his ongoing discomfort. The team is concerned that the rapids could lead them astray because of the powerful current that keeps pushing them along. Jack is upset and claims that this is the only exit. Even though Alex points out that Jack has a death wish, the squad is forced to follow him. Tyler is unable to assist Catherine due to the current because rapids have already carried the team away. Catherine becomes stranded. Tyler is forced away from the group by the water as Nikolai clings to a rock since the current severely injured his leg as it drove him up against the cave wall. Tyler eventually collapses and falls over a waterfall. Catherine quickly follows him and tells Tyler that she was caught back there. Charlie then overtakes them and alerts them that there is an oddity in the water. Tyler looks and finds some strange eels with large teeth. The other three guys then approach them and fire a flare to mark their location after he scares them away with a flare. Tyler and the girls can hear Nikolai falling from the waterfall as they swim towards the others. When they hear Nikolai crying because something is attacking him, Jack decides to go hunting for him. Top advises the group to wait patiently and remain in a circle for protection. Despite Catherine's desire to assist him, Jack finds a gigantic, horrifying thing dragging Nikolai away after following the trail of blood, so he follows them. When he emerges, the creature is carrying a dead Nikolai through a small opening. He also notes that the creature has letters tattooed on its hand, indicating that it was once a human. Returning to the group, Alex senses movement in the water and begins kicking furiously, which appears to be sufficient to frighten whatever it was away. As Jack appears and informs them of what transpired, Catherine accuses him of causing Nikolai's murder because he never intended to leave the camp. As they continue to move, the group hears strange noises that they recognize as echolocation, demonstrating the idea of the creature's almost total blindness. They eventually locate what appears to be the main water flow and follow it, which should take them outside, though they are unsure if it is safe given the monsters. Charlie offers to go first when Jack says they should begin scaling the walls, but Jack declines. saying he and Tyler already had this. Jack overhears Catherine telling Tyler that Jack is too unwell to lead as they prepare the equipment. Charlie begins climbing first while they are preoccupied, moving swiftly and expertly to reach an edge in only a few minutes. Charlie senses a drought at the top, and the others prepare to follow her. Charlie discovers a large, bat-like creature that roars at her when she digs deeper inside. She falls down the edge as soon as Charlie steps back and slips, knocking her briefly out of it. Fortunately, the rope keeps her in place, and when she wakes up, she realizes the beast is pursuing her. The squad starts trying to take her down, but they aren't moving quickly enough, so Charlie starts swimming her rope and using her flamethrower to fend off the beast. Once Charlie believes she is finally secure since she has enough momentum to cut the rope and jump onto the nearby wall, Charlie tries to defend herself and uses her flamethrower to set the beast on flames. Sadly, the creature can fly and immediately climbs on her to begin assaulting her. Sadly, Charlie also passes away as the beast falls to death. When the team returns with Charlie's body, they realize Jack looks completely different. His complexion is pale, his pupils are round. Jack is changing, and Catherine realizes that the parasite entered his body through his wounds, resembling the earlier inhabitants, both human and animal. Tyler tries to support his brother's choices, but Briggs, Catherine, and Alex decide not to listen to him any longer and follow the main water flow they had earlier seen. Once Charlie has slain the creature, the corridor is secure, so Jack, Tyler, and Top ascend up the wall. They soon arrive at a treacherous, steep precipice, and Jack determines they must go down. Tyler stumbles and just about gets to land on an edge, but Top slides down and injures his leg as Tyler's rebreather falls and hits him. Along with sliding down, the rebreather also breaks a hole in an ice wall to disclose a new cavern. The group explores the area and discovers a lot of skeletons dressed in medieval armor. Proving Nikolai's account, Jack discovers sunshine further within, which indicates that their exit is under the bubbling water. Jack suddenly starts to feel unwell once more, but he dismisses it and instructs their pals to go while he looks for the others. Tyler won't go through with this idea because Jack is obviously sick, which enrages Jack to the point that he considers starting a fight. Top interrupts him right away and persuades him that Tyler should be the one looking for the others. Briggs senses a thing approaching as Catherine and the others are getting ready to swim. While he ignites a flare, he orders his comrades to go, but the beast isn't scared off and attacks him nevertheless. Moreover, Jack and a monster also discovers Top. Before they can be injured, they move out of the way, but when the beast flies by, it steals one of their rebreathers. Returning to Tyler, he navigates the water, dodging the eels, and when he comes to the surface, he discovers that his team's tools are stained with blood. He then finds Briggs being carried off by the beast after hearing screaming. Tyler tries to save Briggs by squeezing through the crack, but it's too late. The creature has already impaled Briggs on the stalactites. Before passing away, Briggs offers Tyler his pickaxe and informs him that Catherine is further down the tunnel. In that instant when the monster appears, Tyler starts to flee via the tunnel but discovers another monster on the other side. The creature's weakness is sound, therefore it is fortunate that he also runs into Catherine, who uses the sonar to transmit powerful sound waves to scare the beast away. The two make their way away together until they come upon a river, where they dive in and swim away while sharing Tyler's rebreather. Tyler must take Catherine to the surface after they enter a tight passageway that causes them to lose their rebreather and cause Catherine to pass out. Tyler performs CPR on Catherine, who awakens shortly as a result. They then hear a strange sound, which turns out to be Alex, who alerts them that the monster is pursuing him. The group starts climbing as soon as Tyler discovers an ice vein, which he believes connects to the one Jack discovered earlier. They quickly locate the skeleton-filled tunnel and meet up with Jack and Top there. They must move quickly because the creatures are hanging from the ceiling as though they are waiting for something. Even if they shared, they wouldn't have enough rebreathers, so Jack decided he'll get back the one the monster took. When moving towards the river, the remainder of the gang slips and drops a rebreather, which makes a creature will notice you if there is sufficient noise. The creature starts to break stalactites, which fall on Alex and injure his leg as Alex uses the sonar to keep it at bay. Alex is killed by the creature before Tyler can return to assist him. Top and Catherine try to hide to evade the echolocation of another creature that is approaching them from the water. Despite Top hitting it with the rebreather, the monster still manages to find them. Tyler steps in and uses a blade to kill it. As a third creature approaches, Jack flees and scales a wall to get the object. He strikes the creature to cause it to fall, then reaches for his final rebreather. Jack throws one of the tanks to his brother and places a flare in the other before tossing it into the ocean since more animals are on the way. All the monsters, save for one, are distracted when the tank explodes and the entire cave starts to tremble. Jack rushes on top of the flying thing and drags it into the ocean as a sacrifice to aid his friends. Tyler, Catherine, and Top are able to make it safely outside the cave by swimming in the direction of the light as the cave is about to collapse. Soon after that, Tyler bids Top farewell in the city before meeting Catherine at a cafe. With his mutation, He wonders if Jack would have lived outside, but Catherine isn't so sure anymore. Tyler notes her pupils are changing, just like Jack's were, as she gives him a cheek kiss and says she believes the parasite wanted to emerge. Eventually Catherine disappears, and Tyler, who is now horrified, rushes to find her to prevent the parasite from consuming humanity, but he gets lost in the crowd. The end. If you like this story, please subscribe to the channel and like it, to motivate me to bring you more stories like this.